Well, football can be a remarkable game, can't it? Today, we've got a chance at instant revenge on Walsall for beating us in the last episode. But since you were last with me 2 months ago, we have gained 50% on top of our social media following for a signing that's barely played due to injury. We've also been very close to the sack, and now we're in a promotion push. Put all those things together, it's been a very busy 2 months. There's also some sad news as well. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 18 of Saving Southend with me, Daniel. I think it would be fair to say we've had a pretty eventful ride since the last episode. We sit nicely in second place now and look like we're flying and very comfortable. We've got the top goal scorer in the division, some of my signings are coming off, and after a poor run, we've won 7 league games in a row and all of them pretty comfortably. But that don't tell the story. We were one game from a sack, according to the media. We had a dressing room revolt. We've got new signings that we've got to talk about. We've got retirements in the staffing section. It has been chaos for most of the last 2 months. So if you're looking forward to finding out about it, please do put a thumbs up on the video. In addition to all of that, it's the same old story as we started the last episode with. Revenge against Jonathan Woodgate for what he did to us in the last episode. We've got Walsall today in the FA Cup first round before we head to pre-season promotion favourites Notts County, who currently sit in 17th place after a stuttering start. But let's start with all of the other news going on at the club, because it has been chaos since you were last here. Let's start with a bit of news on the staffing, then we'll get to transfers, then we'll get to dynamics, and then we'll get to the schedule. We start with the staffing, because unfortunately, my biggest ally and my favourite man is retiring from football at the end of the year. John still has decided that despite me offering him a deal till 2027 and despite signing that new contract last year, he is going to retire at the age of 76 in the summer of 2026. So we're going to say farewell to him. He's already played a big part in his save. He's found us some non-league gems, and while one or two obviously haven't come off, a huge number of them had, and he's going to make us a lot of profit long after he retires. Let's move on to the news on a transfer front though, because there has been more going on. Colin Ndeng is one of the players who's become very upset. He wants to move on for first team football, so he's going on loan to Torquay. And as a result of that, a former Channel hero may well be making a return, because the only goalkeeper I could find as a free agent was Joel Coleman that was affordable. So for 500 quid a week, he could be coming back and taking part in our squad. Would definitely be a backup only, but may well be returning very shortly. Let's have a look at the transfer history though, because there's been one more in and one more out since you were last here. The in is someone we actually got in on trial on deadline day, but at the time his wage demand stopped us from signing him. He would have been a first choice centre half, and once he gets fit, he may well still be. But let's talk about the out first, because Hitchin Town, a club very local to me, have got promoted and are in the National League North, which is remarkable. Only a few miles away from Luton, but they've managed to sign Brian McGowan on loan from us. He's a young striker who needs football and needs to develop his personality, but at the moment, not looking like scoring for them. The in note is far more exciting and is responsible for the huge increase in social media following at Southend United, because Elkan Baggott is an Indonesian international, and we have got some interest from the Far East media. Unfortunately, he's had injury troubles. He's played a lot of EFL football, and at 23, if he can stay fit, he probably improves more as well. 6'5", resolute, left-footed, great in the air. He offers an awful lot to this football club. I'm not sure he's been offering it yet. We'll wait and see if we can keep him fit. We've got another EFL trophy game coming up soon, and perhaps he'll be able to feature in that. But once he gets going, I figure he could be a good player for us. So although he's not really featured yet, his position has played a key part in dynamics because we've had injuries galore defensively. Matheson and Joe Tomlinson have both been out a month or so. But the big news is about Lewis Lomas, because he has been on and off with his bizarre issues off the pitch. Transfer requested, wanting to leave, but signing new contracts and all of this stuff. Well, now he seems to have ended all the unhappiness. He's fine, he's signed his deal and he's ready to play. And ironically, given the players we've signed now, he's not really that close to first team level, but will definitely feature in the squad from time to time. We have, though, had our traditional FM24 experience so far, and by that I mean a very slow start, I mean, players settling in quite slowly, and then when we get going, being like a steam train. Because if we have a look at the schedule, I think you can see where we had problems and where we've maybe gained from them. Now, I'm a little bit upset about this, I've got to be honest with you. Because after this Port Vale game here, which made it 5 without a win, fair enough, and following the Walsall game you saw on camera last time, we went 3 more without winning a game. But I felt they were decent results, and after that, we were in about 15th or 16th place, but we were 1 point off the top half. And at that stage, we started getting media leaks from Kevin Mars saying that my job should be under threat. We got questioned about whether our job was at risk. Our job security slipped back to a C despite the fact we were actually delivering everything. And it was a really disappointing time. I felt it was very harsh after 7 league games to judge us based on being 1 point away. Particularly when our last 3 away games that we'd drawn prior to that were all against sides expected to be in the top 6 by the media. Very disappointing, very annoying. We've come through that phase now. What also happened though is, as you can see, I've basically thrown the EFL trophy. I've used it as a fitness exercise, I've built people up, I've given game time to youngsters where possible, and we've been punished for it in terms of results. Performances have been okay, but defending's not been great. And as a result of that, we failed one of our objectives, and there, we actually got down to a C-. But since then, the extra wins, the return of attacking football and goals, more importantly, has seen us go back up to an A-star. Not that the supporters are that happy with us, but if we go and have a look at what was happening since you were last with me, we had a stinker against Watford. You were with me for the Walsall game where I tried to be clever tactically and it didn't work. I won't be doing that today. We followed it up with a really good performance, but a 3-1 defeat in the EFL trophy. Jack Morehouse scored, Billy Vigor played really well on his debut, and we did play all of the other lads there who came in on deadline day. But the big news really was that we had to bring 2 youngsters off the bench, and they weren't quite ready for it, unfortunately. So a 3-1 defeat there, a 1-1 draw at Colchester with Harry Cardwell's goal cancelled out late on, another super sub appearance for him though, a 0-0 at Port Vale, who are top of the league, a really good result, despite the fact that our keeper had to play well and that the board were incredibly unhappy with it apparently. But then the ball has started rolling. 7 wins in a row, easier run of fixtures, and to be honest, not many close games in there either. We beat Crawley by 3-1 with an Aaron Presley hat-trick. That boy has become a superstar already. We beat Solihull 3-2, but we were 2-0 up after Presley's hat-trick, and he got the third as soon as we were pegged back. We beat Sutton by 5-2. We were 5-0 up and rested players late on, but still got a comfortable win. 3 for Jaden Dans this time, who arrived with a hat-trick. Presley and Tomlinson won apiece. A 5-2 defeat at Cheltenham in the EFL trophy. Yeah, it wasn't a great defensive display, but we were trialling things, we were rotating heavily. Dewenny got a goal, which was a real positive, and to be fair, Harry Cardwell scored again. A 2-1 win away at Fleetwood was a great result. We were 1 down at the hour mark despite dominating the game, but Titchmarsh and Hilton got a goal apiece. A 3-1 win at Gillingham, who were bottom of the league, but to be fair, was their first game under a new manager. Could have been a bounce, but we stopped it. Will Ferry and a Presley brace. A 3-1 win at home to Accrington, 2 for Presley and 1 for Erin. Did Presley ever play for Accrington, or am I imagining that? He did. He came back to haunt his former club. And then last time out, a 4-0 at home to Cheltenham. It was over by half time. Mooney, Presley and Dewenny with the goals, and then Jaden Dans late on. But an opportunity there to get Baggott off the bench, to play a couple of other players like Mooney. And we really played well. So it feels like the ball's starting to roll now. We have big problems with dynamics, but the end of Lomas's unhappiness and Dengendy potentially going out on loan, and the fact that we've been picking up wins, you can see it's made a big difference. We've got probably the best club atmosphere you could hope for now, and it really is continuing to improve. So really pleased with where we are after being close to the sack again in September. Does seem a little bit fickle, but then I guess the real footballing world is, and if you have a poor run of 7 or 8 games, you might well be at risk. But what we do know now is we're going to be in a promotion push this year, and we talked about it before. It's not that surprising, is it? Because you've seen so many of the bigger clubs or clubs with bigger attendances and finances that have come up from the National League in recent years, and they've flown through in real life. So I'm not shocked to see us up there. Whether or not we'll be top 3, I don't know. You can see that there's 3 teams on 30 points. There's a few not far behind, and the run of fixtures is going to make a difference. But we're out of the EFL trophy. We're putting our eggs in one basket. Or will it be 2? Let's go and find out against Walsall in the FA Cup. We're going to get through to this one. It's an important game, but I'm not going to make the same mistake as last time. We're at home. We're going to play 4-4-2. We're going to try and impose our game on them. They've got a good team. They're going pretty much full strength. We're going a little bit short of that. Not many fans in for this one because it's not the most inspiring cup tie. But I'm using it as an opportunity because we can build fitness back up for Matheson. We're not going to change the goalkeeper because Nd's probably going to be off next week anyway. And then in defence and midfield, I've just made odd little tweaks here and there. I'm trying to manage match load a little bit, but I'm aware that that's not always possible. So this is the team we've gone for. I've got to add to the squad to make sure it's completely full. We'll go for 9 subs as follows. And this is the 11 we're starting with. We've got Daniel Rose in goal, Matheson and Early the fullbacks with Parker and Kingdon as centre half. Dewenny on the right due to the injury to Hilton. Ferry plays on the left and is finding form now with Erin and Titchmarsh in centre midfield. And Presley and Dans, a budding partnership up front. And Aaron Presley is absolutely flying. 17 goals already, 16 in the league where he's top scorer. And he is just the next level up from Harry Cardwell. We've still got him as a super sub on the bench, but this squad is ready to fly. Let's see if we can get revenge against Walsall and Jonathan Woodgate in the FA Cup. Well, I was going to say the good news for us is that Walsall have rotated 7, but I'm looking at some that have come in. Tilt, Farcarson, Hutchinson and Stirk are all first choice, and Gallagher's only out because of injury, so they've not actually really rotated a great deal. The goalkeeper is an area where they have, and we would have if Ndee was not leaving. But otherwise, it's fairly strong. We're going to say carry on where you left off. No arrogance, please, Dewenny. No complacency. Get inspired, get out there and play your best. And let's hope it's enough to get through. Bit of an odd one. We've just come back 3 minutes in with Walsall celebrating a goal. What on earth's gone on there? We've also got 2 of the same thing on the touchline tablet. Am I having a difficult time here? Can we go and see that one again? We're facing a corner 3 minutes in to the back post. Oh, the keeper's dropped it. Maybe I should have brought Ndee in. Why on earth did they not show me that goal? What a bizarre start. I've not seen anything like that before. But either way, we're 1-0 down immediately. And we look like we're on the back foot. Daniel Rose with slippy gloves is dropping the ball. Maybe he should have opted for the punch. And we've not yet won a cup game this season. We drew against Crawley and beat them on pens. But otherwise, we've been shocking. Let's hope that doesn't continue today. Doesn't look promising though. We're back, still within the first 10 minutes, and it's Walsall with the ball in defence. Donovan Daniels picks it up, and he's got the chance to play in the midfield for Stirk and Dixon Bonner. Not sure what he's doing in League 2, because at his best, he's a good championship player. Maybe in this game hasn't developed as well or has had injuries, I don't know. Carson back into Daniels. Walsall keeping it well. Maybe this shape isn't working either. Maybe they've just got our number, and actually the formation I played last time was the best one. We were in the game, we just made individual errors. As Tilt finds Stirk, chance to shoot, goes wide, it's into Hutchinson. He's unmarked and we're falling apart. What is it with the cups this year? I cannot win a cup game to save my life. I'm going to berate them. Maybe I should have rotated a bit more because they don't look up for it. This is virtually the team that played Cheltenham off the park in the week. And I'm really surprised by the way we've started. No shots. We don't often come up against this tactic, and I will say that. It's the one that I really struggle with when playing R2 at Southend, because without a holding midfielder, you don't have a natural protection there. I'm not sure that we're getting our solution today. I'm going to take Dan's off. He's going to be replaced by, we've got a right midfielder in Vigor. We can put him up front and Dewenny off the right or vice versa. I think we're going to go like that. But this has been a pretty dismal quarter of the game. And now I'm focusing on the league again. Let's get players off and rested if this game's over and look ahead to midweek because that's a bigger game. I mean, in fairness, the shots on target stats is level. We've not been completely outplayed, but they've had the better chances, that's for sure. With 2 shots on target, they're 2-0 up. We've gifted them one with an individual error. And since then, we've not been great, though we've nicked this with Matheson, who will have to come off at half-time, was only supposed to get 45 today, and just runs at Curtis Tilt there, just gives him the ball. Hutchinson away down the left-hand side, well intercepted by Titchmarsh, who finds Vigor. The substitute, what are you doing? What are we doing today? Why in every cup game does it go this wrong? We were good in the cup last year. We got to a final the year before. Very odd this. Daniel Rose out to Matheson. Come on, if we get one now, The hope isn't gone as Presley plays up to Earing. Support from Dewenny, but turns himself. Earing down the left. He beats another. Goes for the shot just over. At least he tried to make something happen, but it's not a good display. Individual errors have cost us again, and I am not happy with that. Disappointed with it. Nervous for Titchmarsh. He's going to come off. We'll bring on Jack Morehouse there. We're also going to bring off Matheson for Scott Morris. And I might as well now bring on Baggott and get him 45 minutes. He can replace Harrison Parker. So 4 changes made already. I think you can tell I'm not that happy. Now let's see if we respond in the second half. Walsall seem to be the side that really know how to beat us as Hutchinson crosses. Kingdon heads away. But Carson's being chased, but he's got there first. And it's back up to Tilt and it's nicked. Morehouse can bring it away. Nobody's even showing a sign to get up with him. The ambition's gone. Scott Morris goes back to Morehouse. He goes inside to Presley. Back again to Kingdom. We start again. We need a goal back fairly soon here. Scott Morris into Morehouse. Back to Kingdon. Good football, but where are we going with it? Nowhere is the simple answer. As Baggott gets it again. Into Earing. Good turn. Dewenny's running off him, but he's going alone. Jack Earing in again. Through 1-on-1. Jack Earing scores. Brilliant goal. Really good from him. He's been a standout today. Both of our best chances were him and solo individual moves. And now we've got one back. The FA Cup dream is still alive. We'd probably actually be better away from home against them. So let's see if we can get the extra goal and take it to a replay. We're going to encourage with 25 to go. Presley struggling fitness-wise. Ferry is struggling performance-wise. I've got to take one of them off. Going to go fitness. We know Cardwell can score. Presley's knackered. We're going to need him Tuesday night, which is still the more important game. But let's see if fresh legs can help as Ferry delivers for Kingdon. Oh, he's hit the post. It was so close. It's out for a throw. The stats are dead level now. And we're winning the ball back again with Scott Morris to Vigor. We've got attacking intent with a better side now. Earing's carrying it forward again. What a driver he's been for us today. Ferry goes down the left wing. Chance to get to the byline and almost does. Chance to get the cross in now. Tipped up to the back post. Cardwell's there. Harry Cardwell scores. Never write off Harry Cardwell. He's a goal scorer. And if Presley is going to take us forward, I am more than happy for that man to be the backup. What a man. What a legend. It's 2-2. We're back in it. And now the excitement comes. I was getting a bit worried we were going to fall apart there, but we are back in the game. We've ended up having more shots, but there's 7 minutes added on and it's a Walsall corner. Don't do this to me. Dennis on the edge of the box turns. He's going to score a screamer, isn't he? Goes all the way right. Back across goal. Airley's clearance is blocked. Second one goes away. Dewenny gets there and beats the defender. This would be the ultimate comeback. Down the left he goes. Holds it up sensibly. Yeah, that's not a bad decision in fairness. Ferry back to Airley. Keeping the ball well. Really good football. We look the fresher at the end. This is going to be a regret on Tuesday night, I think. Morehouse finds Baggott. He's been really good since coming on at centre-half. Good sign for things to come with Scott Morris. Goes for the shot. I mean, why did we see all of that? For a blazed effort over the bar. We had so much time to pick something out. But Walsall still have the threat from a set piece. Up to the back post. And over the bar. We're going to encourage them for 2 more minutes. But I'm not sure we can ask for a win there. We've come back from 2 down. It's an extra game we don't want. But we're still in the hat for the FA Cup next round. And that's all I could have asked for. Great spirit again. We get the result. Now let's move on to Tuesday night. And hope that hasn't affected the legs too much. Well, it's fitness test time as we head to Notts County to face the pre-season favourites for promotion. They are struggling in mid-table. And we're struggling to get a few players fit. You can see Sonny Hilton hasn't made it. Tomlinson's not really there. Matheson can play a bit of a game. Dan shouldn't really play any. So let's just see what we can put together. I'm a bit worried about the implication of Saturday. And I'm a bit worried as well about the fact that we're having our games called off for international breaks. Because it does mean that when we get back to them, we've not really got enough players to recover for Tuesday, Saturday, Tuesday. So let's see what we can put together. They've still got Woodrow up front, who we tried to sign at the start of the summer. Playing really poorly for them. But Crowley, Langstaff, Palmer, there's quality everywhere. This is going to be tough regardless. Oh, they've got Joe Johnson on loan from Luton as well. Let's go and get our team picked back in a minute to run through it. We're back to our away tactic for this one, and we're trying to be as balanced as possible with the squad, mixing up fitness, shape, and all of the other things. But we've got an EFL trophy game next midweek, so everyone can have a rest then. This is the team that I've decided to go for today. We've matched as much of the bench up as possible. It is Daniel Rose in goal, Kingdom, Parker, and Cox the back three, with Early and Matheson the wing backs, Titchmarsh and Earing stay in midfield, Dewenny and Ferry out wide. And then Aaron Presley through the middle up front, for quality on the bench if we need it. Couple of defenders, few on the wings, and two in midfield and up front. We're just about as well covered as we can be. Hopefully by the weekend when we play our next game, the likes of Tomlinson, Dans and Hilton can take place in the squad. Mooney's available if need be as well. So it does give us a bit of depth and a bit of versatility. But this is a big one, so I've gone strong, and hopefully none of these lads break down. Well, here we go then, and Emma Hayes is the manager of Notts County. A big game and lots of changes made there. 7 in total from what would have been the cup game at the weekend. Quality even on the bench that would walk into our team. Denver Hume being one of those, for example. But quality up front, promotion favourites and a well-paid team. They should be beating us on paper, but we've been in brilliant form recently. You saw even on Saturday, we're very hard to keep quiet when we're having a poor day and a couple behind. So with everyone out today, let's hope we get the performance, because we haven't always had that in recent weeks on the road. There were a couple of games where we've dominated the chances, but not necessarily dominated the match. And that might be one of those this time as well. The problem is we're returning to 3-game weeks here. When we've had that recently, it's been the EFL trophy and we've just rested everyone. But you can see we've had more of the shots, we've had more of the game, but we have picked up the first injury of the day. Earring's picked up a knock and I'm not going to risk it. He's hampered by injury, so Jack Morehouse comes on. There's a gamble that hasn't paid off. Don't play injury-prone players 3 times a week. When will I learn? 5 to the break. It's been a cagey game, but you know what? We're doing our job so far on the road. With a better team, we're restricting them to nothing, and despite injury, we're looking pretty strong. So let's get through the dressing room. Very happy with that. Let's get the lads to prove a point and try and deliver in the second half. We've got to remember to take Matheson off. We're going to have to look after the wingers. You can see Dewenny struggling already, but we're on the front foot here with Ferry. Phase into Early, back to Titchmarsh. Lovely first touch. Takes it away from the Notts County player and curls one just wide. That was a good opportunity. Oh, away to the favourites and we're playing well here. This is giving me confidence. An hour on the clock. I'm going to make a couple of subs. I'm going to leave Presley a little longer. But Dewenny will come off for vigour, and we're going to take off Matheson for Scott Morris as we continue to build him up. When we've got people coming back from injury, I don't want them to break down again. We're not in a position we have to play them at the minute, so let's try and be a bit more careful. We're going to get to the final 20, and then we've got decisions to make because there are 4 players knackered, and I've only got 2 subs left. One of them will definitely be Cardwell for Presley. We know he can do it off the bench. What do we do with the other one? Lomas and Baggett are both available. I can't really take Ferry off unless I change the shape massively. And Cox can't play left wing back that well. So it would be a deficit to us. So as a result of that, I'm going to bring on Lewis Lomas. No, he's nervous. I'm going to bring on Baggett. He's going to replace Kingdon. I'm going to put Parker to the right. Cox in the middle, who can do that job pretty well. And then Baggett on the left of the back 3. Fingers crossed the change to the defence won't harm us. We've been the better side. They've had no shot on target. And we've got over 1 expected goal. We should really have scored here. And I keep encouraging them because they're playing well. And with 5 to go, you know what? Away at the favourites, I'm happy with this result. If we can draw 0-0 with no threat on our goal, happy days. That's a good result for me. If you can pick up points away at some of the best sides in the league, and then you can win your home games, I'm a very happy man. Don't know why the assistant said they're disappointed. I'm not completely on board with that message. But we edge closer to the top of the table. We go to what on paper is the hardest away game in League 2, probably alongside Port Vale away. And we've drawn both of them this season. I'm pretty happy with that. The unbeaten run continues. We're flying well. And after this weekend, we've got a week break, which is going to be very important. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for when we're next going to be back. But overall, if Jack Earing's injury isn't too bad, this is a positive episode. It's not too bad. So he'll miss the weekend. The EFL trophy is basically a friendly at this point. And then we've got the cup replay as well. But it actually thins out when we get to January. So hopefully by then we can push on a little bit more. We are going to come back, I think, in December. We've got a pretty uninspiring FA Cup tie if we get through. I think it's Port Vale or Forest Green at home, who are both fellow League Two sides. So I'm looking at Doncaster and Bradford as two big games in League Two, but one of those might be moved if we get through in the Cup. But somewhere around there, the middle of December, we are going to be back. I don't want to leave it too long because it seems the League Two table is very tight and your position can swing quite wildly. We're 5 points away from ninth, and we're playing a few of the sides in that region coming up soon. So I want to show you two of those. I want to show you the more difficult games on camera. It's not going to be any benefit to anyone if I keep showing you us beating Ebbsfleet 3-0, Colchester by however many we beat them by, Cheltenham, Gillingham, etc. I've got to show you the games that have jeopardy in and around us. And I know that means we lose more on camera, but that's the fun though, isn't it? That's what you want to see. Overall, really happy to stay unbeaten. It started with disaster, but we fought back against Walsall and we were rock solid defensively against Notts County. If you enjoyed it, then please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments if you think we can go back to back. It wouldn't be the first time a side's done it in League Two. It's probably going to happen in real life this season for some, so I wouldn't be shocked if we're in the mix as well. If you want to stay up to date and find out, see if we can progress in the FA Cup and continue to move forward, then please do subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We'll be back in a couple of days' time after the head coach returns tomorrow. You can find that playlist up in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel, the football podcast, and so much more. But thank you very much for watching. The unbeaten run continues, and we've got Southend United on a roll. Let's see if we can sustain it.